What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin. Recently, Bitcoin has been trading very sideways. The top coins have really not seen much action at all recently, but this does lead me to believe that there is a major move coming in the near future. And before we get started, guys, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. Let's get 1,000 likes on this video. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Bitcoin is up 0.71% in the past 24 hours, trading just around 9,760. In some altcoins, some smaller cap coins are seeing some nice moves. Right now, I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart on the weekly. The weekly is the most interesting chart for me right now. What we can see is that the price is beginning to squeeze right up against the $10,000 level. It does seem like Bitcoin is at the apex, just about ready to make a major move. We're also seeing a decline in volume here, which does lead me to believe that we are going to be seeing a major move in the market pretty soon. So looking at this chart overall, what you can see is that I do have the parabolic stop in reverse indicator pulled up on the weekly chart here. I also have the 10-week EMA, this purple line right here. And we are also looking at the 200-week simple moving average. The 10-week EMA has been an extremely accurate indicator for calling support. Even on the past run to 14K, every time we came back to test the 10-week EMA, it did bounce right off of this moving average. And once we did see a clear break below the 10-week EMA, we saw some more bearish moves. A similar thing took place in this region right here, and a similar thing is taking place right now. So recently, the 10-week EMA has been acting as a great support indicator. It has been a great support target, an area to be loading up and buying the dips along this moving average. With that in mind, as long as we're holding above this moving average, then things will remain bullish for Bitcoin, and we could see a breakout eventually, depending on how long we trade sideways. Now, on the contrary, just like we saw in this area right here, or in this area right here, if we do get a clear break below the 10-week EMA, then that would be an indication that Bitcoin could be looking to test some much lower prices. So I do find the 10-week EMA a really important indicator to keep track of right now for the short term. And as long as we are holding above this moving average, I am short and long-term bullish on Bitcoin. If we break below it, then I could see myself becoming a little bit more bearish. But as of right now, I am still remaining bullish on Bitcoin. Another thing I want to bring up right now is also the parabolic stop in reverse indicator. This indicator has accurately depicted the trend for Bitcoin for multiple months at a time every time. We pretty much always trend with the parabolic stop and reverse indicator on the weekly chart. Recently, it has been a little bit less reliable because we saw a move up, then we had the global crisis and a crash and then a bounce back. So things were a lot more volatile recently, a lot more unpredictable recently. But I do still find this to be a very reliable indicator. And right now we are still remaining bullish with the parabolic stop and reverse indicator. Another thing I want to bring up that makes this even more effective is I want to pull up the chart style here on CryptoWatch. I want to hit Fibonacci. And if you pair up the parabolic stop and reverse indicator with the Fibonacci candles, this gives you an even more accurate and even better understanding of what the trend is. For example, 2018 going into 2019, as we were trending down, as Bitcoin was seeing a huge breakdown, and the Fibonacci candles were showing a little bit more bullishness, a potential trend reversal. Well, the parabolic stop and reverse indicator kept us on track, right? It kept us on track, even though the Fibonacci candles could have been throwing us off a little bit. So even if the price does break below the uptrend here and below the 10-week EMA, we'll have to see what the parabolic stop and reverse indicator is showing, because it could mean that we're still trending bullish with a short-term dip, and that we got to be following the macro signals here. Even if the Fibonacci candles are showing a potential trend reversal, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what's taking place. That's why I like to pair up the Fibonacci with the parabolic stop and reverse indicator. It's a great pair. So now looking at the standard chart style, from swing high at 13,868 to swing low at 3,858, Bitcoin has actually come back up to retest the 618 fib extension. This is just below that $10,500 resistance area, that major supply line that we keep getting rejection from. Currently, Bitcoin is seeing resistance along the 618 fib extension. We pretty much only see wicks above the 618, and we never really get candle body closes above the 618. So keep in mind, if we do break above 10,000 and we get a candle body close above the 618 fib extension, this would be a pretty bullish signal that we could see some continuation to the upside. And at that point, we could actually be looking to test prices like 11,700, possibly even as high as 12,000. The 786 fib extension is coming in around 11,700, which is also just below that $12,000 price target, which could also be the upside target. And if this were to take place, we would be trending very nicely above the 10-week EMA. So that's one of the things that I'm looking out for right now, is if Bitcoin can see a candle body close above the 618 fib extension, that could incite more bullish moves to the upside and potentially a breakout towards those higher targets, and possibly letting Bitcoin get that first macro higher high we've seen in multiple years. Overall right now, I am still bullish on Bitcoin. I'm still remaining bullish on Bitcoin. We are still in an uptrend. Things are still looking pretty good. There's still a high chance that we could see a move to the upside. One thing that could stop Bitcoin from seeing a break to the upside of this consolidation here, one thing that could actually stop this from happening, is if the stock market sees a major reversal. We have just seen a continued moonshot in the stock market. The Fed has been pumping the stock market, and as of right now, there's nothing saying that the stock market has to go down. Right now, the weekly is showing a potential reversal here, but nothing is confirmed. All I'm saying is that if the stock market does see a major dump, then that could cause some uncertainty across all markets. Again, Bitcoin is generally very bullish when the stock market is bullish because there's a lot of confidence. Bitcoin is generally bearish when there's a lot of bearishness in the stock market, because there's a lot of uncertainty, right? And this all has to do with confidence, and this all has to do with human behavior, right? A lot of people like to believe that Bitcoin is not correlated to the stock market. That is very much just a fantasy idea. Guys, Bitcoin, the prices are controlled by human behavior, and of course, by trading bots as well. But human behavior cannot be changed like that, right? You can't force people to be certain about Bitcoin when the stock market is crashing. The reason why Bitcoin went from 10,500 to 3,858, 60% drop, was of course because we had a record crash in the stock market. One of the harshest drops we've seen in stock market history, and Bitcoin obviously did not react very well to that. So keep in mind, you can't change human behavior. If stock market is super bearish, Bitcoin will probably be super bearish. Bitcoin has actually never acted as a long-term hedge against the stock market. Not yet, not yet. So as of right now, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, but if the stock market does see a major reversal here, or anywhere in the near term, that's when Bitcoin could also be seeing a move to the downside. But in that bearish scenario, let's discuss the bearish scenario real quick. If Bitcoin were to see a major drop, if we go from swing low to swing high, looking at some of our fib retracement targets, if we did see a major breakdown and we did see a break below the 10-week EMA, and we saw a push to the downside, the lowest I think we would go is probably 64.30, which is also the 618 golden retrace. I think that is the absolute lowest price Bitcoin would see to the downside. So even if Bitcoin does see some sort of pullback because of a stock market reversal, I would be looking to accumulate heavily on these dips, right? This would be a really good opportunity to be buying the dips. So I would just see that as an opportunity. I wouldn't really freak out too much. And no, for all of you bears out there, I wouldn't be getting wrecked if Bitcoin went down. I would just be actually looking to increase my overall positions, because I do believe in crypto as playing a role in the future of finance. So I have no doubts of the success for crypto going into the future. So guys, mentally, I am fully prepared to see a bear scenario play out. I don't think it's very likely right now, but I'm very prepared for it. One thing I always tell people is always assume the market could go lower. Even though I'm bullish, I always just assume the market could go lower. That's the best mindset to have, because then you're always prepared for downside. And you're always going to have some cash set aside to buy lower prices. That way you're not just banking on Bitcoin never going lower. It's a very unrealistic mindset. So I'm just discussing a little bit of my mindset and how I think about these types of scenarios. But overall, guys, again, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin right now. The stock market is seeing incredible gains. There is no sign of a reversal in the stock market yet. Believe it or not, this could actually continue to trend to the upside as the Fed is pumping the market. And Bitcoin could then actually see a major breakout in that type of scenario as well. And we could be looking to test upwards of 11,700, 12,000 on that next major breakout. So keep all this in mind as you're trading this market. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support this channel, you can join the Patreon. And also, guys, for all of you that have not signed up with the CryptoWatch platform, be sure to sign up. I just made a tutorial the other day that helps you get started on the platform, so definitely watch that video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.